Every lesson is a lyric in the universal song. Oh, the lessons of the journey, I'll weave them in my song.
Welcome back to Lessons of the Journey, where we discuss the stuff they should have taught us in school with Coach Jen and Coach Nicole. If you've been with us the past few weeks, you know we've been walking through something powerful, the 4 agreements. And if you're just joining us, let me say this. I highly recommend going back and listening to the last 4 episodes because each agreement holds its own kind of wisdom. And together they form a foundation that can genuinely shift how you show up in your life, your work, your relationship, and your leadership. But let's do a quick review of each of the 4 agreements. Number 1, be impeccable with your word. Speak with honesty and intention. Let your words build, not break, especially when you're talking to yourself. Integrity starts with how you communicate, both out loud and in your own mind. Agreement number 2. Don't take anything personally. What others say and do is about them, their lens, their pain, their story. It's rarely about you. So protect your peace by remembering you're not responsible for their projections. Agreement number 3, don't make assumptions. Clarity beats mind reading every time.
Amen.
Ask the question, have the conversation. Choose curiosity over conclusion.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, clear is kind and no one can read your mind.
Ooh, that's another one of our rhymes.
We
Clear
love
is
the
kind,
rhymes.
no one can read your
Read
mind.
your mind. Agreement number 4, always do your best. Give what you honestly have to give today, not from perfectionism or pressure, but from presence. Some days your best is bold, some days it's quiet. Both count. So this episode, it's all about integration. Because let's be real, these agreements, they weren't written for monks on mountaintops or people with unlimited time and 0 distractions. They were written for us, people with families to care for, jobs to show up to, inboxes that won't stop growing, unresolved trauma we're still healing from, and alarms going off way too early in the morning. They were written for you. So if you've ever thought, this sounds great in theory, but how do I actually live this when I'm overwhelmed, behind, or exhausted? You're in the right place, because integration isn't about perfection. It's about practice. It's about finding ways to let these agreements live inside you every day of life, in conversations, in reactions, in tiny choices that slowly shift the whole picture.
Oh, such a good intro. My alarm going off way too early in the morning is in the form of a 3-year-old named Max.
Your alarm can be anything.
Oh, way too early. Gosh, Nicole, thank you for that. Life-changing, y'all. Let's talk about it. There's a myth surrounding the mastery of really anything. Let's just get this out up front. You are not going to master the agreements like a checklist. It's not going to happen. You're not going to sit there and study them, be like, okay, they're in, and check. That's not going to happen. This is not like the Girl Scouts for grown-ups. There's no badge ceremony waiting for you at the end of this. Yeah. I would love it though.
I want my stars.
That would be a really good thing. But these agreements aren't something that you conquer. They're something that you actually return to again and again and again. It's not a linear climb to enlightenment, although we all really wish that if we had it, that we could get there quickly. It's a cycle, and it's definitely a practice. Yes, absolutely. You're going to forget everything we said. This is going to happen. Probably on some random Tuesday when your partner leaves the dishes in the sink again, or your coworker sends you a passive-aggressive email, or your kids roll their eyes just right. And that's okay. Because, as Nicole said, living the agreements, it's not about perfection. It's about recovery speed. How quickly can you catch yourself making that assumption? How fast can you shift out of personalization? How honestly can you check your words when you're really tired? And how often can you ask, what does my best really look like right now? The work isn't about getting it right 100% of the time. The work is in how quickly and how gently you return to what you know is true. And that's the real win. Because mastery isn't the absence of mistakes. It's the presence of your awareness. It's the resilience to come back again and again with humility and curiosity and grace. That's the win.
Grace comes up a lot, doesn't it?
A lot,
I love that
yeah.
word. So let's get real. These agreements don't live in neat little boxes. They're not 4 separate lanes where you just pick one and stay inside the lanes. They're actually a web, a system, and it's a practice of overlap because life doesn't come at you one agreement at a time. Gosh darn it. You might be trying to do your best, but if you're also making assumptions about what other people expect from you, you're going to end up overcommitted, overwhelmed, and exhausted.
Yeah.
You might be trying to be impeccable with your word, but if you're taking everything personally, you'll find yourself over explaining, over apologizing, and walking on eggshells. Not because your words are off, but because your energy is off. The truth is, these agreements intersect constantly. And the real power, it's in learning to see those intersections in real time. The agreements aren't here to separate your life into categories. They're here to bring your whole life into alignment.
Yes. And they absolutely have the power to do that. You guys see me geek out over this stuff. It's because it's so legit. I do it myself. So yes. And they build on each other. There are 7 key insights to help you start weaving all 4 agreements into your daily life. Let's get into the 7. Insight number 1 is self-awareness actually is the shortcut. You want to live the 4 agreements, you just start by noticing, not fixing, not forcing, just notice. Self-awareness is the quiet superpower underneath all of this. It's the moment you catch yourself mid-assumption and go, wait, is this actually true? It's realizing you're spiraling over a comment and asking, am I taking this personally? It's hearing your own tone and your own story and your own pressure and pausing instead of pushing through that. We often think change takes this massive effort, but the first step is always awareness because you can't shift what you can't or won't name. And you cannot stay in integrity with what you won't slow down long enough to feel. Take that one. Self-awareness does not mean judgment. It means curiosity, compassion, and a willingness to sit with the real question. What am I doing and why? That one question right there, it'll change everything.
That's so powerful. Self-awareness really does equal integrity.
Yeah.
And I never really thought of it that way. I love that. Insight number 2, there's no final exam. You're not going to get an A or an F. Here's your freeing truth. There's no gold star at the end of this work. I want my gold star.
I do.
There's no graduation ceremony, no final exam. You don't arrive at a perfect version of yourself who never makes assumptions, who always speaks with clarity, who effortlessly does their best while never taking anything personally. Can that be me, please? Can I just be that person? The problem? That person doesn't exist. What does exist is this: a version of you who stumbles less often, recovers more quickly, and lives with more honesty, clarity, and peace than before. Woohoo! I'll take that. These agreements, they're not meant to become another pressure system, another way to feel like you're not enough. They're just an invitation to live awake, to choose intentionally, to come back to your values when life pulls you off course. So if you find yourself messing up, good.
Yeah.
That means you're in it. That means you're learning. That means you're human. That means you're aware. And in this work, being human isn't a flaw. It's the whole point.
Yes. Welcome to humanness. You ever find yourself going, damn it, why?
If you find yourself really needing an A, just text a friend and say, send me an A for the day. Your good friend will do that for you. You got an A today.
Come back to this moment right here. Put a comment in the section and we will give you your A. I practiced this today, Coach Jen and Coach Nicole. Yes, you got it.
Get your A.
We're here for the A's all day. Insight number 3. Your nervous system is part of the story. Speaking from real life, if you've ever tried to apply these agreements while in a full-blown nervous system freak out, different ballgame. Not happening. You've heard us in the last 4 episodes talk about the science. When you're dysregulated, stressed, overwhelmed, or triggered, your access to your prefrontal cortex, which is your thinking and your regulating brain, it's limited. That means that you're more reactive, more defensive, and more likely to personalize, assume, or explode. This is why the grounding tools that we talked about matter. It's not just for mindfulness, but it's actually for access back into your own brain. Breath gives you that access. Naming the trigger gives you that access. And reframing the moment gives you that access. Your ability to live the agreements increases as your nervous system stabilizes. And that's not a failure. That's biology. That's part of the human thing we keep talking about.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. We always have to bring it back to the body, don't we?
The alignment that we're talking about, when your head says something, but your body's saying something else, and that's when things kind of aren't working out. So we're looking for that awareness and the alignment of what's going on.
What's happening in your body, and is it something you can control? Knowing that your body is out of control, your mind is out of control, is such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5th insight. The agreements reveal your growth edges. What? Each agreement will hit differently depending on the season you're in. One day, don't take anything personally, will feel like a breeze. Then suddenly, one passive-aggressive text or a silence from someone you care about will bring the storm. It's not failure, it's feedback. The agreement that's hardest for you right now, that is your current edge. That's where the healing is asking to happen. It's asking, let's do something about this. If you're struggling to be impeccable with your word, maybe there's an invitation to find your voice and stop abandoning it. If assumptions are your reflex, maybe safety used to come from staying one step ahead. If doing your best feels exhausting, maybe your definition of best needs to evolve. And if you're taking things personally, maybe it's time to build a boundary between your worth and other people's behavior. Each challenge is a mirror. It's not to judge yourself, but to meet yourself. And that's where our growth is.
That's amazing. Insight number 6 is the agreements aren't linear. They're a daily toolkit. Some days you're going to need one agreement more than the others. Other days you'll use all 4 before lunch. I would even venture to say some years you're going to need one agreement more than others.
For sure.
This isn't a staircase, it's a toolkit. You're not climbing to level 4. You're reaching for the tool that fits the moment.
Yes.
And like any tool, the more you practice using them, the more skilled and subtle you're going to become. Maybe you catch a white lie before it leaves your mouth. Maybe you pause before assigning meaning to someone's tone. Maybe you drop the guilt and recognize, I actually did my best today. That's a good one. That's what daily use looks like. It's not dramatic. It's not performative. It's steady, quiet, personal. The 4 agreements aren't about changing everything overnight. That is never going to happen.
No.
They're about shifting everything over time.
Yes.
Slowly and with grace.
Yes. Oh, I love this. What we know is that we can't just stop an old agreement. We have to replace it with something. That's where Insight 7 comes in, which is returning to the practice. No matter how grounded or intentional you are, there will be days when you slip up. You'll speak from reaction. You'll take the bait. You'll make assumptions and forget that your best is actually good enough. That's not the end, though. That's actually just the middle, because the real practice is returning. Coming back to these agreements, not as rules, but as refuge. You've heard me call it my platform. It's where I fall. It's my safe place to land. It's a reminder. It's a rhythm. The win isn't in never messing up. The win is catching it sooner, repairing faster, choosing again without shame. That's maturity. That's the mastery that we're talking about. And that's the work.
So powerful. I love that because it brings it back to, we're not going to graduate. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it out loud. Graduation is when you die.
Yeah, truth.
Let's not get to graduation so fast. Let's stay in that practice zone.
I really appreciate that because when we talk about, oh, this hurts, well, what's the alternative? You can only not hurt if you're dead. Yes, the growing pains, they do hurt and they get easier and easier. It's like building a muscle. You're sore after the first few times at the gym. The more you go, the more you practice, the less it hurts.
There you go. It's exactly like that. I love that we always bring it back to the gym because it's such an easy thing to realize. These are all muscles. We're just strengthening our muscles.
Yeah.
So these 7 insights offer a powerful starting place for bringing the 4 agreements into real life. Now let's look at how they actually show up in the day-to-day. Some of these examples might sound familiar, and that's no accident. First, because most of us face these kinds of moments all the time. Second, because we've touched on them in earlier episodes, but they're worth revisiting. Why? Because our lives are built on patterns, and these agreements give us the tools to interrupt those patterns and choose something different, dare I say, something better. The first example, the text spiral.
Every day these days.
You send a message, maybe it's playful, or maybe it took you real courage to hit send, and then nothing. No reply, left on read. Hours go by, your chest tightens, your thoughts speed up. Did I overshare? Are they mad? Did I sound too needy, too blunt, too much?
Yeah.
Suddenly you're halfway down an imaginary rabbit hole and you don't even realize it. This is the moment, the one where the agreements aren't a theory, they're a lifeline. A pause, a redirect. Try this mini check-in. Am I taking this personally or are they just busy? Am I assuming what their silence means, or can I allow for unknowns?
Oh, that's a tough one, though.
Ooh, allowing for unknowns. Yeah, I agree with you. That is a tough one, Jen. What would my best look like here? Giving space, sending a kind follow-up, or just letting it be? This is a crossroad. It's a 10-second choice. And that's all it takes to either spiral into a story or anchor into truth.
This hits. This hits because everybody in the year 2025 has, at multiple points in time, experienced this exact thing. Undo. Thank God Apple came in with the unsend. But is that even the right thing?
Is that real?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
But that's the thing is we just start reacting. Oh no. Oh, it was the wrong thing. Unsend. Is that even the right thing? Oh, let's anchor in. You're right.
Take a minute.
Whew.
Chill.
Okay, the workplace. I've been here. You're in a meeting. You've worked really hard. You stayed up late. You did your prep. It wasn't just procrastination. You actually put the work in. And then your boss says, yeah, well, this isn't quite what I had in mind. No smile, no explanation, just blunt. Your stomach drops. Your heart rate spikes. And the narrative begins. I messed up. I should have done more. I should have something different. I'm just not good enough. Here's where you get to pause and choose differently. Okay. Can I receive feedback without making an identity crisis?
Probably not, but let's try.
It's practice. It's practice, Nicole. Am I layering meaning onto their tone? Am I putting something there that doesn't exist? Is there a question I could ask instead of rushing to be defensive? What would my best look like here? Is it calm curiosity? Is it clarity seeking? Is it holding steady in this moment? This is the agreement at work, pun intended. Not just in how you speak to others, but how you speak to yourself in those moments of discomfort. That breath we're asking you to take before the reaction, that's your own self-leadership.
Yeah, I didn't feel that one at all. Okay, maybe I'm going to take it personally for a second, but then I can reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a great point, because until we've practiced this enough, we don't really get to control our first thought.
Right.
The power is doing something with that very next thought.
Mm-hmm.
We can either be a victim to that first thought because we haven't put in the practice enough, or we can go, okay, how true is this first thought and what do I do with it next?
Challenging it. I love that. Here's another example. I'm sure no one can relate to this one. Family friction.
Oh, what? No, everything's smooth all the time.
I say that and everybody has a story that pops into their head. It may not be this exact story, but you all go, oh, yeah, I relate. We're going to go with this one. It's been a long day. The house is loud. Everyone's tired. Your partner snaps. Your kid rolls their eyes. You ask a simple question and you get attitude. And before you know it, your fuse is lit. Your brain goes, why do I even try? Your ego says they don't appreciate me. Your inner critic whispers, you're failing at this.
All three at the same time. Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Isn't it funny how we can multitask in that moment? Here's the shift. What if I don't take this personally? What if they're just in a moment? Am I creating a story about this or simply observing the reality?
That's such a good one.
Yeah. Can I set a boundary without losing my kindness? Haha, I like that. Kind boundaries. What does doing my best look like right now? Taking a breath, not matching their tone, or walking away to reset? These aren't passive thoughts, they're practices. And every time you choose one, you weaken the reactive pattern and strengthen your grounded self. You're not avoiding conflict, you're responding with clarity. And that changes everything.
It really does. My kid's dad says, approach determines response, which you would like to be true. If I approach you kindly, I would like to be received kindly. That's not always the case.
No.
And I get to remind him regularly that approach does not necessarily get the response that you're looking for. And for all of these things, everybody's dealing with their own shit. This is why. Now that we've talked about and you've seen how the agreements show up in real life, in those text spirals, in the work stress, in the family blow-ups, or even the quiet internal battles that we all deal with, let's bring it back home. Not to your performance, but to you, your everyday, in the trenches of everything that you are. Take a breath. Inhale with intention. Exhale with softness. And let's go through 5 integration tools together so that we can really put this into play in your life. Number 1, pattern spotting. Where do I tend to forget the agreements? When are you most likely to slip out of alignment? Is it when you're home and exhausted? Is it at work when you're feeling the pressure to prove yourself? Is it in the mirror when you speak to yourself in ways you would never speak to somebody you love? Your patterns are not failures. It's data. It's information. They point to the places that need more care, not your criticism. Awareness is the invitation to take a look here, and your presence is the actual shift. Number 2, the pause you missed. Which moment got away? If you think back, what's one recent moment you could have paused, but you didn't? Maybe it was a snappy reply. Maybe it was a text you left unread because you assumed way too much. You had to put that down and walk away. Was it a yes you said when your body was trying to say no? Now ask yourself gently, what might have changed if I had taken that one breath? That's not regret. It's rehearsal. It's rewiring something. You're not stuck. You are practicing for the next time, and that's your growth. Number 3, your everyday effort. What does my best look like on a random Wednesday? Forget your ideal day. Forget that one day where everything was in the flow zone, clicking all the way, top performance. Forget that. Forget day 1 of the first year where that resolution is going to change your life. Forget that. What does your best look like on a regular, messy weekday? Just in the life that you're living. when you're juggling deadlines and dirty dishes, when your emotions are taking over your calendar, when your shoulders are tight and your kid needs something from you. Can you honor that version of your best? Because when you start celebrating the honest effort, not just the high performance days, you stop chasing those gold stars that we want so badly. And that's where you start building that peace.
Honestly, I think peace is the gold star. Truly.
Yeah, that's a win.
So integration tool number 4, the inner nudge. Which agreement needs my attention? Tuning in, not to the one that sounds impressive, the one you've been quietly avoiding. Is it time to speak to yourself with more kindness, being impeccable? Are you holding energy that doesn't belong to you? Don't take it personally.
Mm-hmm.
Are you running on guesses and unspoken stories? Don't make assumptions. Are you pushing past your limits instead of honoring your honest self? Always do your best. You don't have to master all 4. You just need to notice where the work is today. That's where growth begins.
Mm-hmm.
Tool 5, debrief, don't dwell.
Yeah.
When the day feels off or something just didn't sit right, run a quick debrief. Ask yourself, did I speak truthfully and kindly today? Am I absorbing emotions or stories that don't belong to me? Did I act on assumptions instead of asking questions? Did I give what I had to give today? Follow-up question, what agreement would have helped me today? I could also ask, if I could redo one moment, how would I respond differently? I love that. You said rehearsal. That's rehearsal.
Yeah.
What support or reminder would help me respond with more alignment tomorrow? Remember, this isn't a test. It's a compass. Use it to recalibrate, not criticize. Let that awareness land. No fixing, no self-judgment, just presence. Because awareness is the first act of alignment, and every shift starts there. This is how growth happens, not by being flawless, but by being honest.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to get into our Calm Language Toolkit for integration. I'm going to give you some of these for when life throws you into the storm, whether that's stress, conflict, or self-doubt. Having these gentle grounding phrases can help be your anchor. I want you to think of these as your go-to mantras or reminders to bring you back to presence and calm.
Yes.
As Jen talked about earlier, what is the one agreement that really hits for you right now? What is the one you feel like you're most working on? For me, it's the assumptions. I am definitely working on the assumptions most in my life right now. So for you, what is yours that you're working on? Because as I come to this mantra, you might want to write it down. You want to use these silently in your mind, or you can say them out loud. Write them down when you need a reset. I would write it down now so you have this. The goal is to speak to yourself with kindness and clarity so you stay connected to your best self, no matter what's happening around you. You know how some people have things that they keep in their wallet with something written on it? I think it would be great to take the one, adjust it how you feel it needs to be, but this is a good starting point for whichever one it is for you.
It sounds so silly. I say these things out loud to myself. I talk to myself in the car. I learned long ago that your own brain wants to hear your own voice tell you how it is. And the way I have received that is by literally using my own voice to talk to my own brain to reconfirm the belief of truth. And then go from there. That's how I'm helping my brain rewire. So yes, you can say them silently. I'm that crazy you're next to with the red light who's talking to herself out loud. I'm not singing. I'm repeating the agreement.
I love that. Yeah. We now have these phones. They all have recording apps. Yeah. Record yourself saying it and play it for yourself. You could do that too. You can even record yourself saying it multiple times and then play it for yourself And hear yourself say it over and over again, the one you're working on. And not all of these, because I think we need to focus in on the one you're working on.
Yeah, one at a time.
Yes,
Really?
please. One at a time, please. We beg
It's
you.
enough work. It
Yes.
really
And
is.
write this episode number down so you can just come back and listen to it in a year
Yeah.
and say, how am I doing on that one?
Yeah.
And maybe it's time to work on the next one. If in 4 years you could really nail all 4 of these, this would change your life.
I love this, the integration portion, because it's one thing to have the knowledge and it's another thing to understand how to put it into play in
Yes.
regular life. This is so necessary. This is a really
Absolutely.
great wrap up to the last 4 episodes.
If this was what I was focusing on with a client, I would have them do exactly that. Literally write it down. If you're somebody who works in an office, put it on the wall.
Yeah.
If you need it in your wallet, record it, whatever works for them. I would have them do something specifically to help.
Mm-hmm.
To get this nailed. And don't expect to get it done in 30 days and be like, I'm a pro. It's not going to happen.
It's a regular practice. It really is.
Listen to the habits episode. It takes a while. All right. Number 1, I don't need to take this personally. This reminds you to create space between what others say or do and your sense of self-worth. Their words or actions are about them, not you. Let this phrase dissolve unnecessary emotional weight.
Yeah. That's the not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah.
And remember, this doesn't mean don't care. It means my whole system here doesn't need to take personally what's going on in this circus over here. I can witness it. I can be present. I can remind myself who I am, and you can have your moment, and it doesn't need to involve me. That's what this is.
Isn't it funny how as parents, we can watch our own child have a meltdown and just kind of go, yeah, and we don't get into it. It's not like we melt down next to them. We stay separate. Yeah, as adults, we have so much difficulty doing that. Let's stay out of their stuff. All right, number 2. This is for Nicole. I'm going to ask because I don't make assumptions.
Yeah.
I don't make assumptions. I
Yeah.
don't. Instead of spiraling into stories or guesses, this phrase empowers you to seek clarity. It's a gentle invitation to choose curiosity over confusion and to take control of your narrative.
Yes.
Obviously, I love this one.
It's so good. I don't know how many times I've said out loud, you get to control the narrative. You get to be the one to decide what this is going to look like. So what do you want it to look like? Now, the interesting thing about this is anybody you talk to can always tell you what they don't want. Rare is it that somebody can say what they do want. I love this. I am going to ask because clarity is power. I am going to ask because clarity matters to me. All of these are affirmations that we're putting in, and that's the stuff that's rewiring.
Yes. This is where I believe the term fake it till you make it makes sense. When I say I don't make assumptions, I'm full on lying to myself.
Yeah.
Full lie at this point because I'm such a pro at making assumptions. Yet I know I can be the person who doesn't make assumptions. I know that's my end goal. I'm going to make it to the point where the majority of the time, and I love the 80-20 rule, 80% of the time I won't make assumptions. I still have the 20% because, I can't be perfect. Not allowed to be a robot. But yeah, I'm going to ask because I don't make assumptions.
Yeah.
That's mine. Number 3, I am doing my best with what I've got today. So when energy is low or the day feels overwhelming, this phrase grounds you in compassion. It honors your effort without pressure or perfectionism. Remember, your best shifts with your circumstances, and that's okay. This is powerful.
This is Jen's. This is like my regular overarching, because is this my best? Could I have done more? That's what I get caught up in, is the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Could I have done more? Which is so much judgment. I came out of my mother with guilt that I didn't put upon myself. I carry it in this life. So I'm constantly questioning myself on my best. This is tough because I'm raising little ones right now, and we're always talking about the practice and the doing your best, and mom's got to catch herself on this one. Was it my best today? Ooh,
I'm going to add that I feel like we live in a society where it's, could you have given an extra 10%? Could you have given an extra 10%?
Definitely.
And it was like, you know what? Shut up. No,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Because it's that productivity, it's the output that we've been conditioned.
Yep.
And we have a whole episode on that. And you're
Yep.
exactly right. Could I have? How judgy is that? It's the could, would, should, judgiest anything. Quit
Yep.
it. Stop. Get rid of those words. That's a challenge for my clients. If we're running into something like that in a judgment, it's good practice for me, and it's good practice for everyone else who suffers like I do with that judgment. When I say suffer, I choose that word because it's a choice of suffering. We could choose differently, yet I'm stuck in this. Oh, was that my best? Could I have done more? Because I was raised in that your production equals your value. I was also raised in team sports. And did you do your best? Did everybody else do their best? It's crazy. Anyway, my overarching, this one is the one that I practice the most.
All right. Number 4, I can be honest without being harsh. If you are someone who is looking to find your voice, this is for you. Honesty does not have to mean cruelty. This phrase guides you to communicate your truth with kindness, whether to yourself or others, balancing that integrity with empathy.
Yeah.
I think this is really important for a lot of people. I know personally, I'm the opposite of this. I'm usually too honest, can be called blunt. I have noticed that a lot of people who don't find their voice think I'm too harsh.
Yeah.
Because their gauge is so low for having your voice. I think there's a balance. I want to bring it down a tiny bit. I think this is really important for a lot of people.
This is where those I statements, in my experience, I think the story I'm telling myself, it's all about what's happening on the inside. Honesty is coming from your heart, and it's being expressed in a way that's not blaming or abusive. It's not about how stupid you are. It's about my experience inside of what's happening now. That, I think, is the key point. Be honest. Yes, be honest. And be honest coming from a space of your own experience, your thoughts, your feelings. It's never about the other person.
Yeah. And I work on the harsh part. I want to be less harsh. Interesting. That's a good one.
I think, Nicole, maybe I challenge you in this. Maybe it's easier to be less harsh if we are really coming from the I space.
Yes.
Because harsh is like you suck, you're awful.
Yeah.
That sounds harsh, but my experience is this. You're still being honest, but it's less about the other person sucking so much.
Yeah.
And more about what's happening inside.
It's interesting how I can be honest without being harsh is both from a space of finding a voice and from a space of having a strong voice and need to bring it to middle.
Yeah. Because I'm the same as you. I'm very direct. I'm extremely passionate. I also have a volume to my voice that is intimidating sometimes. And when I get passionate, I really have to watch what I'm doing because some people associate volume with harshness. Yeah, I'm in the same place here.
If we're in person, we're also itty bitty tiny people. No, we're like the Amazon women.
We're tall women,
like almost 6 feet tall. How tall are you?
I'm 6 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 5'10" and a half. We're not small either. In person, I'm sure some people are like, bah.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
It's interesting. This one can be taken from both directions. I love that. Number 5, this moment doesn't define me. It refines me.
This is such a good mantra.
I love that.
Good. Yeah.
Challenges and setbacks are not the final word on who you are. Use this phrase to remind yourself that growth often comes through discomfort and that every moment is a chance to become stronger and wiser. This so hits hard on the failure concept that we've been talking about. It's not a failure. It's just a refinement.
Yeah. We really only internalize things that we had to figure out on our own. That's exactly what this episode is about. Again, the integration portion, we can tell you about all the agreements, but until you sit in the practice and really become aware, of course it's going to not change. So the refinement, the getting better every day comes from the practice. And thank goodness you have the new day to practice. That's one thing that these agreements allow is, okay, how did I do yesterday? How do I want to do today? What one piece? That's the integration. It's not this big loud bang. It's the integrative piece of today. It's this one. Today, I'm going to look out for the shoulds or the woulds or the coulds, and this is the movement that I'm going to make. It's so powerful. It helps you show up the way you choose to show up. I love it.
And I'm going to stand on my soapbox and just say, you're not going to learn this through osmosis. You actually have to practice. As much as you want to just listen to this and get it all, you're not going to get it all until you put it into practice. And I will use the word and you fail at it and fail at it and fail at it, because that's where the refinement comes in. It's through the failure. It's not like, oh, this is just easy and fun. You got to get out there and do it.
You know, speaking personally, you've heard me say I've been practicing these daily for 8 years now. One thing I can attest to is that with the practice has come a shrinking of the ego. That is because I will literally practice this in the moment of a thing. I will stop myself in the moment of a thing. My ego has left the building. Clarity matters to me right now. So I see that we are having a thing. I'm going to stop right now and I'm going to ask. I have to do that in the moment because I'm to the point of practice to in the moment is the way that it's going to shift for me. I've done the AAR, the after action review, the look at the day. I've done all of that. This is why we can speak to it, because we practice it. I can literally say that this is something that I do. I have clients that can attest that this is the way that I practice in my regular life. So in those moments, you'll find Jen going, ooh, I need clarity on this right now. Is there something that we can set back on? Or, oh, you know what? I think I might have misunderstood you. I don't want to leave any room for error. What does that look like? Instead of the guessing, I, in the moment, have to do it. Sometimes people ask, what is this? I'll change words. If I'm trying to be impeccable with my word, I'll rewind. I'll say, you know what? Let me say that differently. In the moment, if I chose the word but instead of and, in the moment, I will change those. People look at me and they just take it from me now. That is literally the change that I'm wishing to see in my own life. And it only works through practices like that. That's just my bizarro thing. My ego has left the building at that point.
Actually, I love that, because number 6 is practice over perfection always. Mm-hmm. This is your long-term mantra. Progress is made in the daily showing up, not in flawless execution. Repeat this to shift your focus from impossible standards to sustainable growth. Yeah, we know that one's really important. So keep this toolkit handy. Over time, these phrases become internal guides that help you move through the moments that can be tough with grace and presence, turning the 4 agreements from ideas into those lived, embodied wisdom pieces. You can take this.
Yeah. So this week, we would invite you to notice one moment each day where maybe you tend to spiral a bit. Are you able to pause and ask yourself, which agreement can support me right now? And then try it. One moment, one shift. And if you slip up, that's okay, because these agreements, they don't expire. They're always here waiting for you to return. So please come back, try again. That's part of this journey. That's part of this practice. And we promise that's more than enough.
Awesome. Let's do some takeaways.
All right. Oh my gosh. It's so very clear how each of these agreements work together and build on each other. I loved your examples of you can't be impeccable with your words while you're making assumptions, or you can't take things personally while not doing your best. And just the idea that integration really does happen in those little tiny human moments that we all experience. Those are my biggest takeaways, is you really can't have one without the other.
So true. I have a few takeaways. Not dwelling. That's something that I'm definitely working on. Debriefing, but not dwelling. I like that part. So I said I'm working on assumptions. That's a thing for me. But what I've noticed is I've been working on my assumptions for a bit now. I'm not as versed as you in the 4 agreements. Of course, they show up in different ways in things that I've taught through the years. I have integrations of some of it. So the assumptions I have been working on for a while now, but I notice it turns into the taking things personal. Mm-hmm. So you make the assumption and then you take it personally.
Yeah.
And now I notice that I'm transitioning from the assumptions are probably my main agreement that I'm focusing on, but I'm turning it into the not taking things personally agreement. And they do, to me, those two just go so solidly together.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And in the book, Don Miguel Ruiz, the author, he talks about how just the combination of those two really being some of the most important aspects of this, it's life altering. It creates the assuming part, then turning into suffering that is needless. It's suffering that we ourselves created, that we're trying to give to somebody else so that they could be the bad guy, when in fact we literally just made up a story that doesn't exist and then chose to suffer from it. If that was told in a different narrative, if that was in a movie, you'd be yelling at the screen. You'd be like, stop, you did that yourself. Don't do that. What are you doing that for? That would be happening if you could step outside of it. Needless suffering. You are suffering for no reason other than you chose to.
You just made crap up in your head. Yeah. Agreed. Oh, wow. And that's the one thing I would get rid of is suffering. We need to feel pain, but we don't need to suffer. Suffering is unnecessary. And you're right. Making the assumption about something and then taking it personally, and then you're suffering. That literally is what you're doing. And you're right. I'd be yelling at the screen. Get clarity. Go ask questions. But I'm way better at watching the screen than my own.
Yes. Easier said than done.
Hey, I'm working on it.
Which is why we're talking about it now.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. We're going into our questions. I'm going to ask you first.
Okay.
Can you tell me one of your most recent inspiring stories about love?
Oh, yes. I mean, so many. I'm thinking right now, two came to mind immediately. I'll tell you the cute one first. My 3-year-old. I've been having back problems recently. I woke up the other day and I was like, oh God, this is what getting old looks like. I slept wrong and then I moved wrong. And everybody goes, what'd you do? Nothing. I slept and I woke up and there we go. My entire family can see that I am in some pain. Moving is kind of awkward. And my 3-year-old is just being the sweetest. Mom, I'll fix it for you. He'll do this little rub thing. And then because at 3, mommy kisses still make everything better. So he'll give little kisses on my lower part of my back. And every day, Mom, how are you doing? He'll be like, I'll fix it. And he'll do this little like Mr. Miyagi thing to my back. It's just, and I know that that is just love. He just does not want to see me hurting. And that is his version of loving me in that moment. I think it is just the sweetest thing on earth.
That's
the
fantastic.
other thing that came to mind was me and their dad. We have done episodes on how tough this life is being in relationship. And we were independent, older individuals before we got together. And the commitment to our relationship and to making effective changes inside of our lives, really, he's showing up in a spectacular way, seeing things that need movement and showing up with me and for me in those times. I think that's a huge testament to love as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks. Mine's a little less philosophical.
That's okay.
But it's going to tell us a lot about Nicole. Okay.
We go all different directions around here.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my God. Okay. First of all, I shouldn't say I don't sing in public. I do sing in public. I don't sing at karaoke because I think people who sing at karaoke like their voices. At least I have a terrible voice.
Or are wicked drunk and just...
Yeah. And I don't drink. So I'll dance a fool, no problem. But sing a fool is just not my thing. I would probably go with Katy Perry's Firework or Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Because I have 2 boys. So I used to make them sing it with me when they were teenagers in the car. So we went to a concert, Shania Twain, just recently within the last 2 years. And I was making him sing it. So it was very cute. Yeah. So one of those 2. I like them both.
I love it. Good one. Okay. Yeah. Now I need video of said.
I probably have that on video somewhere at some point. Yes. Man, I feel like a woman, you know?
I'm the same. I don't do karaoke. I don't, because nobody needs to suffer.
It's just wrong. It's just mean. I would do it in a group. Yeah. I sing happy birthday. I'm not the person who mouths the happy birthday song. I sing it because everyone else is singing too.
I do it safe in the car. My karaoke is safe in the car with the
for
windows
sure.
rolled up. And yeah.
Oh no, I roll the windows down. Oh no, see, that's in public. I do sing in public because I sing in my car and I sing loud. And I don't care at that point. But I'm not in a restaurant trying to say I know how to sing. Nope, don't.
Okay, and Nicole will be performing a rendition of Katy Perry's Fireworks for us very soon.
Fireworks. See, this is why I don't sing, because my voice is... No.
I'm the same.
No. Bad.
Okay. Well, this wraps up our 4 agreements journey. But honestly, it's just the beginning. These ideas, they're not just for a season, they're actually a way of being. So keep practicing, keep pausing, and keep coming home to your truth. Life will continue to throw you curveballs, but these agreements, they're your platform, they're your anchor, they're your go-to. Back to the basics. Stay steady, stay curious, and remember, your power is in your presence. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Write your lines with passion, let your spirit free.